All right, welcome to the DevCon Pro perspective for 2026. If you're a developer, listen up, because the ground beneath our feet has completely and totally shifted. We're here to break down exactly what that means, and more importantly, how you're going to master this new landscape of AI collaboration. So let's dive into the new rules of engagement.
For years, for decades, our value was all about our fluency in code, right? A syntax-first world. Well, that era is over. It's done. Today, it is all about a system-first approach. If you are still focused on just cranking out syntax, I'm telling you, you are already falling behind. The whole game has changed.
And this quote right here, man, it just nails the new reality. The whole definition of a top-tier 10x engineer has been completely rewritten. It's not about being the fastest person at the keyboard anymore. It's about your ability to design, to guide, and to orchestrate these incredibly complex AI systems to get to a goal. Your new job title? Architect, conductor, orchestrator. So how do we actually become effective orchestrators? Well, it all starts with understanding the fundamentals, the mechanics of these things. To really lead these models, you have to get a grasp on what we're calling LLM physics. This is about moving way beyond just simple prompting and into true leadership.
Okay, this is core stuff. We have to understand that we are not just chatting with a friendly colleague here. No, we are performing a very precise technical action. Every single piece of context you give an AI is literally dragging its predictive engine to a specific coordinate in this vast, high-dimensional meaning space. You gotta get this. Precision in your input equals precision in your final architecture.
But here's the kicker, a really critical challenge. That context, which is your most valuable asset, is finite. And worse, it can decay. You've probably felt this. In long sessions, the models start working off summaries of summaries. We call this context drift. So the question you have to constantly ask yourself is, am I maintaining a clean signal, or am I letting it just degrade into noise?
The DevCon Pro solution is to put up what we call the context guardrails. It's a really disciplined three-step process. First, you reprime. You start with clean foundational context. Second, you are actively monitoring for any signs of that drift. And third, and this is important, you cannot be afraid to just reset the session to keep that signal-to-noise ratio high. Elite orchestrators do not let their threads decay, period.
Understanding the physics is the first piece of the puzzle. The next step is a huge shift in mindset. We are moving away from that simple command line mentality and into a truly collaborative model. And this is where the real leverage is for the 2026 engineer. Let's just compare these two mindsets directly, side by side. The old command mindset, it's obsolete. It treats the AI like a basic command line tool, just asking for little snippets of code. But the 2026 collaborator mindset, it has a completely different goal, building a shared understanding. The AI's role gets elevated from just a tool to a senior partner. You don't just throw it a function signature, you give it the business logic, the constraints, the why. You're bridging that context gap. So, let's get practical. How does this new mindset actually build into a workflow you can use? Because this isn't just theory, right? These are concrete techniques that a modern architect needs to be using like today.
Okay, the first technique is something we call the Socratic interrogation. The goal here is so simple, but it is incredibly powerful. Before a single line of code gets generated, you and your AI partner have to build a shared mental model of the problem and the solution. This is how you guarantee the final output is robust and perfectly aligned with what you actually need.
And here is a prompt you can use immediately, like right after this. After you lay out your high-level goal, you tell your senior AI partner, interrogate this, ask me 5 questions to find the architectural blind spots. See what you're doing? By forcing the AI to question your assumptions, you're working together to build a bulletproof plan. It's a total game changer. Now, this collaborative approach, it opens the door to some of the most advanced concepts that are shaping our entire industry. We call it vibe coding. And yeah, it sounds a little funny, but your job shifts from getting bogged down in implementation details to managing the high-level system intent, the vibe. And that leads you right into agentic orchestration, where you're basically governing a whole team of specialized agents. Think of it like this. You are no longer a lone coder. You are the architect. You are the conductor. You manage a whole team of specialized AI agents. You got one for QA, one for security, another one for business logic. They handle all the details. Your job? You manage the big picture, the overarching intent, and you make sure all the pieces work together in harmony. So, what does this all mean? Where does this leave us? Well, the stakes for the 2026 engineer could not be higher. This is not just about learning a new tool or a new framework. This is about a fundamental evolution of your professional identity.
And here's the most crucial point of all. The tools. They have already made the generational leap. The only question is, will you? Mastery in this decade means you have to move from being an executor to being an orchestrator. It means mastering your context, leading your agents, and actually building the future.
When you strip it all down, the choice really is that simple. It's a binary outcome: evolve or be erased. That is the DEVCON Pro way.
Adopt this mindset, master these workflows, and this is your new reality. You are the architect. You are the orchestrator. You are the future of what it means to build. Status: 10x engineer. Active.